The North Koreans have seized a U.S. Navy ship with 82 men aboard and have taken it into a North Korean port.
If it's left up to the military to force release of the USS Pueblo and her crew, the options are few and highly dangerous.
The Korean Peninsula, rich in history and culture, is home to both North and South Korea. Despite their shared origins, these two nations have developed along starkly divergent paths. A critical understanding of the variances between North and South Korea extends beyond mere geographic division and calls for an exploration of political, economic, social, and cultural differences. The backdrop for these disparities was set during the Cold War era, when the peninsula was bifurcated into Soviet-backed North and US-backed South, leading to a persistent dichotomy that prevails to this day. Number 1. Global recognition. Global recognition and cultural influence provide another stark contrast between North and South Korea. South Korea has grown into a significant cultural exporter in the 21st century, contributing to its global recognition. The term Hallyu, or Korean wave, is used to describe the global popularity of South Korean culture, which includes K-pop music, Korean dramas, movies, and Korean beauty products. This cultural phenomenon has significantly increased South Korea's soft power and international image. Artists like BTS, PSY, and Blackpink have achieved worldwide fame, with their music topping charts around the globe. Moreover, South Korean films have received critical acclaim and international recognition, with the movie Parasite winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes and 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, in 2020. On the contrary, North Korea's global recognition is predominantly linked to its political regime, nuclear weapons program, and human rights issues. North Korean culture is relatively unknown on the international stage due to the country's isolationist policies. The state heavily controls the arts, and cultural products often serve as propaganda tools for the regime. North Korea's influence on the global stage is more often associated with international tensions rather than cultural contributions. Consequently, the global perception and influence of the two countries diverge significantly, with South Korea's vibrant and accessible culture contrasting North Korea's secluded existence. Number 2. Political systems. One of the most prominent differences between North and South Korea lies in their respective political systems. North Korea, formerly known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, operates under a unitary socialist government that is considered one of the world's most centralized. The state is effectively a totalitarian dictatorship led by a supreme leader who holds ultimate authority. From Kim Il-sung to his grandson Kim Jong-un, the Kim dynasty has maintained a firm grip on the country's leadership since 1948. This political structure has resulted in a highly regulated society where the state controls nearly all aspects of life. Freedom of expression and political dissent are virtually non-existent, with state propaganda permeating education, media, and public life. Furthermore, the country's judicial system operates under the guilt by association rule, whereby punishment can be extended to entire families for the crimes of one individual. Contrastingly, South Korea, officially the Republic of Korea, ROK, is a democratic republic with a multi-party system. The country's government is divided into 3 branches: the executive, led by the president, the legislative, comprised of the National Assembly, and the judiciary, headed by the Supreme Court. Since its transition to democracy in the late 20th century, South Korea has seen the peaceful transfer of power through regular elections, a stark contrast to its northern neighbor. South Koreans enjoy a high degree of political freedom, with protections for freedom of speech, press, and assembly. Political dissent is common, and protests are a regular feature of South Korean democracy. Although the country grapples with its own political issues, such as corruption and political polarization, its democratic system fosters an open society where citizens actively participate in shaping their country's future. Number 3. Economic structure. The economic structures of North and South Korea further accentuate the divergence between the two nations. North Korea's economy is centrally planned and state-controlled, with most resources owned by the state. Industries are nationalized, and agricultural production is organized around collective farms. The country is also notably isolated from global trade networks due to international sanctions imposed in response to its nuclear program. North Korea's economy has struggled due to a combination of internal mismanagement, natural disasters, and external sanctions. The country faces chronic economic problems, including poor infrastructure, outdated industrial base, and a lack of technological innovation. Furthermore, frequent food shortages have led to widespread malnutrition and poverty. Conversely, South Korea boasts one of the world's most dynamic economies, famously known for its Miracle on the Han River transformation. From the ruins of the Korean War, South Korea emerged as an economic powerhouse, adopting a capitalist, market-oriented economic system that emphasized export-driven growth. It's home to globally recognized corporations such as Samsung, Hyundai, and LG. South Korea's economy is characterized by a mix of high-tech industries, including electronics, automobiles, shipbuilding, petrochemicals, and robotics. Additionally, it has a robust service sector and is a leading player in digital technology and the entertainment industry, with K-pop and K-dramas gaining worldwide popularity. The country's vibrant economy has significantly raised living standards, making it a member of the trillion-dollar club of world economies and a model for economic development worldwide. Despite challenges such as income inequality and an aging population, South Korea continues to thrive as an economic hub in East Asia. Number 4. Population density and urbanization. Population density and urbanization patterns offer yet another distinctive perspective on the contrasts between North and South Korea. North Korea, with a land area of about 120,540 square kilometers, has an estimated population of 25 million people. This yields a population density of approximately 208 individuals per square kilometer. While this might appear to be dense, the population is not evenly distributed. Many North Koreans live in rural areas, with only about 62% of the population residing in urban areas. The capital city of Pyongyang is the most urbanized area, housing over 2.8 million residents. Other significant cities include Hamhung and Cheongjin, but overall, urbanization in North Korea has been slower and less extensive than in South Korea, largely due to the country's economic struggles and isolationist policies. In contrast, South Korea, with a land area of 100,210 square kilometers and an estimated population of 51 million, has a significantly higher population density of approximately 509 individuals per square kilometer. Notably, around 82% of South Koreans live in urban areas. The rapid urbanization in South Korea is often attributed to its economic boom and industrialization period during the latter half of the 20th century. Seoul, the capital city, is one of the most densely populated and urbanized areas globally, with a population surpassing 10 million. In addition, the wider Seoul capital area, including Incheon and Gyeonggi province, is home to nearly half of the country's population. This rapid urbanization has not come without challenges, including housing shortages, traffic congestion, and environmental concerns. Number 5. Freedom of speech and media. Freedom of speech and media forms another stark difference between the two Koreas. In North Korea, these freedoms are severely curtailed. The state controls all media outlets, and content is heavily censored and manipulated to promote state propaganda. The government views freedom of information as a potential threat to its authority, and access to foreign media is highly restricted. Unauthorized access to outside information can lead to severe penalties, including imprisonment. In contrast, South Korea has a vibrant and diverse media landscape. Freedom of speech is constitutionally guaranteed, and South Koreans enjoy access to a wide variety of domestic and foreign media outlets. From newspapers to television networks and digital platforms, the country's media scene is highly competitive. While there are ongoing debates about political bias and press freedom, particularly under different presidential administrations, the overall landscape is one of openness and plurality. South Korea's entertainment media, particularly music, television dramas, and movies, have achieved global popularity under the Hallyu, or Korean Wave phenomenon. This cultural export has not only brought significant economic benefits, but has also raised South Korea's international profile and soft power. However, it should be noted that South Korea also grapples with issues related to freedom of speech and media. For instance, the national security law, ostensibly designed to deter pro-North Korean activities, has been criticized for potentially stifling freedom of expression. Yet, compared to North Korea, the extent of these freedoms is significantly broader in the South. Number 6. Education systems. North and South Korea's education systems also diverge significantly. In North Korea, the state provides 12 years of free and compulsory education, including 1 year of preschool, 5 years of primary school, and 6 years of secondary school. The curriculum is heavily influenced by state ideology, with a strong focus on political indoctrination and loyalty to the regime. The teachings of the Kim dynasty, along with lessons in revolutionary history and socialist ethics, form an integral part of the educational content. Resources and facilities are often inadequate, particularly in rural areas, and access to higher education is limited. South Korea, in contrast, has one of the world's highest-rated education systems. Like North Korea, it provides 12 years of compulsory education, consisting of 6 years of primary school, 3 years of middle school, and 3 years of high school. However, South Korea's education system is highly competitive, with a strong emphasis on entrance examinations and academic achievement. South Korean students often face immense pressure to perform well in school, as academic success is seen as a key determinant of future prospects. The country is known for its high university enrollment rates and its students' strong performance in international assessments. Furthermore, South Korea's educational technology infrastructure is among the most advanced in the world, facilitating a rapid transition to online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite its accomplishments, South Korea's education system has faced criticism for its high-stress environment, resulting in reforms aimed at reducing academic pressure. Additionally, efforts are being made to promote creativity and critical thinking skills, as well as emotional and social learning. Number 7. Cultural traditions and etiquette. While North and South Korea share a common cultural heritage, their respective cultural traditions and etiquette have evolved divergently due to their political, economic, and social differences. In North Korea, culture and traditions have been molded by the state's ideology, with a focus on promoting loyalty to the regime. This is reflected in the country's arts, music, literature, and public rituals, which often glorify the state and its leaders. Traditional cultural practices have been modified to align with state propaganda, and Western influences are largely absent due to the country's isolationist policies. Etiquette in North Korea is also deeply influenced by the country's political system. Reverence and respect for authority figures, particularly the Kim family, are deeply ingrained. Public displays of dissent or criticism are not tolerated, and the population is expected to participate in mass rallies and public expressions of loyalty to the regime. In South Korea, on the other hand, traditional culture has been preserved but also influenced by Western ideas and practices. The country's cultural scene is diverse and dynamic, spanning traditional arts such as calligraphy and tea ceremony to contemporary music, film, and fashion. Traditional etiquette, emphasizing respect for elders and communal harmony, coexists with modern manners influenced by Western culture. South Korea has also embraced its cultural heritage as a form of soft power, promoting Korean culture globally through the Korean wave of music, TV dramas, and film. This cultural dynamism contrasts with North Korea's state-controlled cultural expression, reflecting the country's broader political and social differences. Number 8. Food and cuisine. North and South Korea share a common culinary history, with staples such as rice, kimchi, and tofu being ubiquitous in both cuisines. However, political, economic, and geographic factors have led to notable differences in their contemporary food cultures. North Korean cuisine tends to be simpler and less spicy compared to South Korean cuisine. Given the country's mountainous landscape and colder climate, dishes often feature hearty ingredients like potatoes, buckwheat, and beans. A common dish is naengmyeon, cold buckwheat noodles often served in a tangy broth with sliced meat and pickled vegetables. However, food scarcity has been a major issue in North Korea, and the cuisine is often marked by its austerity. In contrast, South Korean cuisine is diverse and has evolved significantly, influenced by the country's rapid modernization and globalization. The country's iconic dish, Kimchi is often more fermented and spicier than its North Korean counterpart. Barbecue, particularly samgyeopsal, grilled pork belly, and bulgogi, marinated beef, is another favorite. In recent years, South Korea has seen a surge in fusion cuisine, combining traditional Korean ingredients with international flavors. Furthermore, South Korea has a vibrant food industry with a thriving culture of street food and food markets. The nation has also embraced food technology, with innovations such as food delivery apps becoming a staple of everyday life. The popularity of Korean cuisine has grown internationally as part of the Korean wave, further differentiating it from North Korean cuisine. Number 9. Technological advancements. The technological gap between North and South Korea is significant, further highlighting the stark contrast between the two nations. North Korea, under its reclusive regime, has remained relatively technologically undeveloped. The country lacks a modern telecommunications infrastructure, and the internet is heavily restricted and monitored, with only a small elite having access to the global internet. Most North Koreans have access only to a state-controlled intranet called Kwangmyong. Due to international sanctions and limited resources, North Korea's technological advancements have been largely focused on its military and nuclear capabilities. The country has developed its missile and nuclear technology over the years, leading to international tensions and negotiations over denuclearization. On the contrary, South Korea is known as one of the most technologically advanced countries globally. The nation boasts the world's fastest internet speed and highest smartphone usage rate. Major technological conglomerates, such as Samsung and LG, are based in South Korea, producing cutting-edge electronics and appliances used worldwide. In addition to consumer technology, South Korea has made significant advancements in robotics, biotechnology, aerospace, and renewable energy. The government actively supports research and development, fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. Moreover, South Korea is a leader in the digital entertainment industry, with advancements in online gaming, virtual reality, and digital animation. The country also boasts an advanced digital infrastructure, including widespread availability of broadband internet and 5G networks, which supports a rapidly growing tech startup scene. The contrast in technological advancements between North and South Korea is emblematic of their divergent paths and offers insight into the potential consequences of political and economic ideologies on societal progress. Number 10. Military capabilities. North and South Korea's military capabilities starkly contrast each other, reflecting their different geopolitical realities and strategic priorities. North Korea has one of the largest standing armies in the world, with over 1 million active troops and millions more in reserves. Military service is mandatory for both men and women, with service terms ranging from several years to a decade. North Korea's military strategy is grounded in self-reliance and deterrence, as evidenced by its nuclear weapons program and large artillery force. However, North Korea's conventional military capabilities are widely seen as outdated due to economic difficulties and international sanctions. Despite its large army, the country's equipment and hardware are often obsolete, and training can be inadequate. Yet its development of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles presents a significant security challenge in the region and beyond. In contrast, South Korea's military is smaller but more technologically advanced. Mandatory conscription is in place, but the service term is shorter, typically around 18 months to 2 years. South Korea has been a close ally of the United States since the Korean War, and its defense strategy relies on this alliance. The country has a robust defense industry and has made significant strides in areas such as missile defense, naval capabilities, and fighter aircraft. South Korea's military capabilities focus more on technology and quality rather than quantity. With the constant threat from the north, the country has developed advanced surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. Despite its smaller size, South Korea's military is considered one of the world's most technologically advanced and capable forces. Number 11. Healthcare systems. The healthcare systems in North and South Korea are vastly different. North Korea operates a public healthcare system where the state theoretically provides free medical care for its citizens. The country's healthcare infrastructure, however, is in dire straits due to economic difficulties, international sanctions, and lack of resources. There is a severe shortage of medicines and medical equipment, and many healthcare facilities are outdated and poorly maintained. As a result, the population often faces health issues such as malnutrition and infectious diseases. In contrast, South Korea boasts one of the most efficient healthcare systems in the world. The country operates a universal healthcare model, where all residents are eligible for treatment under the National Health Insurance (NHI) scheme. The government, employers, and individuals jointly fund this system. The country has a high ratio of healthcare providers to population, including a significant number of specialists. South Korea's healthcare system is renowned for its technological advancement and accessibility. Digital health records are standard, and the country has a robust telemedicine framework. The country has demonstrated its healthcare efficiency in handling public health crises, notably the COVID-19 pandemic, where it was lauded for its rapid response, widespread testing, and effective contact tracing. However, challenges do exist in South Korea's healthcare system. There are concerns about rising healthcare costs and disparities in healthcare access and outcomes between different socioeconomic groups. Yet, when compared to North Korea, the South's healthcare system is far more developed and effective in meeting the population's health needs. Number 12. Religion and beliefs. Religion and belief systems form another contrasting element between North and South Korea. In North Korea, the state ideology of Juche, roughly translated as self-reliance, is the predominant belief system. This ideology, formulated by the country's founder Kim Il-sung, asserts the importance of independence and national sovereignty in political, economic, and military affairs. While traditionally Buddhism and Confucianism were prevalent in the Korean peninsula, in North Korea, the state discourages religious practices as potential challenges to the regime's authority. Although the constitution nominally guarantees freedom of religion, in reality, religious activities are heavily monitored and restricted. A small number of state-controlled religious organizations exist, but these primarily serve propaganda purposes. In contrast, South Korea is characterized by a diversity of religious beliefs and practices. While a significant portion of the population identifies as non-religious or follows traditional beliefs such as shamanism, other major religions include Christianity and Buddhism. The country has a large and active Christian population, making it unique among East Asian countries. Religious freedom is enshrined in South Korea's constitution, and various religious communities coexist peacefully. Churches, Buddhist temples, and other places of worship are common sights in the country. Religion also plays a significant role in social and cultural life, influencing everything from holidays to social services. Number 13. Immigration policies. North and South Korea also diverge in their immigration policies. North Korea is one of the most closed-off countries in the world, with very limited immigration. The country's isolationist policies mean that few foreigners reside in North Korea. Those who do are typically diplomats, aid workers, or individuals with special permission from the state. Defection from North Korea is highly risky and often involves crossing into China first before reaching a third country. On the other hand, South Korea has a more open immigration policy, albeit with its own complexities and challenges. The country has been attracting a growing number of immigrants, primarily for employment and study. It has several visa categories for foreign workers, students, investors, and others. However, the country's immigration policy has been criticized for being restrictive and favoring highly skilled immigrants. South Korea has also been grappling with the issue of integrating North Korean defectors, who are technically considered South Korean citizens under the Constitution, but often face significant challenges in adjusting to life in the South. The South Korean government provides a range of support services to aid their resettlement, but issues such as discrimination and cultural differences persist. Number 14. Environmental policies. Environmental policies and practices differ considerably between North and South Korea. North Korea's environmental policies are largely influenced by its political and economic situation. In an attempt to achieve food self-sufficiency, the country has engaged in extensive deforestation for agriculture, leading to soil degradation and other ecological problems. Furthermore, North Korea has struggled with issues such as air and water pollution due to its heavy reliance on coal and lack of adequate pollution control measures. While North Korea has ratified several international environmental agreements, the country lacks the resources and infrastructure to implement comprehensive environmental policies effectively. In recent years, the North Korean government has acknowledged the need for reforestation and has embarked on tree planting campaigns, but progress has been slow. South Korea, on the other hand, has made significant strides in environmental policy. The country has implemented ambitious policies to address pollution, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and promote renewable energy. These efforts are part of South Korea's Green New Deal, which aims to transform the country's economy into a low-carbon green economy. South Korea has invested heavily in renewable energy technologies, waste management, and green transportation. However, the country also faces significant environmental challenges, including air and water pollution, urban sprawl, and the environmental impact of its heavy industries. As such, balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability remains a major policy issue. Number 15. Living standards. The living standards in North and South Korea present one of the most striking differences between the two countries. North Korea's living standards are among the lowest in the world. The country's economy has been plagued by chronic economic mismanagement, international sanctions, and a lack of resources. This has led to widespread poverty, food insecurity, and poor access to basic services like clean water, sanitation, and electricity. Life in North Korea is also characterized by limited personal freedoms and a lack of access to information. The country's human rights record has been widely criticized, with reports of political prison camps, forced labor, and restrictions on movement and communication. South Korea, in contrast, has one of the world's most prosperous economies, resulting in high living standards for many of its citizens. The country has a high Human Development Index, HDI, with citizens enjoying access to quality education, healthcare, and housing. South Koreans also have access to a wide range of consumer goods, high-speed internet, and advanced infrastructure. Despite these advancements, South Korea also faces challenges related to income inequality, job security, and social pressures related to education and career success. Issues such as an aging population, high household debt, and the mental health crisis also present challenges to living standards in the country. However, these challenges are markedly different from the systemic poverty and deprivation experienced in North Korea.